Well, friends, am I audible now? Hello?
Yeah, Jasper.
Hello?
Acha. Can you see him? Acha.
Okay. I am finally getting to understand that you guys can finally hear and see me.
Correct.
Great.
Correct.
Great. A little bit more that I will try to draw your attention on something that I was
ठीक है.
wanting to express
ठीक है. ठीक.
and which was something I missed because of so much of glitches. What we are moving now, as clearly seen, as very evidently seen by people working from home, is from a time based reward system to a task based reward system. The talent of future, as well as the present talent, the present set of people working across, have clearly realized that clocking hours is of no significance. Maybe clocking hours is of significance of a very few of us, very few of us, maybe teachers, trainers, would fall in that category, who would really be able to clock hours and charge a price for their service. Beyond that, clocking hours in terms of statutory requirements of government, of the labor laws, 9 hours a day, 6 days a week, have been completely eradicated. I call this as eradication because this was truly a menace. This was truly a menace which we used to see and face when we were working. We had a lot of clock watchers whom we could see around us, and we would notice a lot of clock watchers going beyond time, expressing their solidarity to organizations. And these were the people who were at many points of time highlighted as very high achievers and hard workers. Then there came a time where organizations, the first one to acknowledge this was none other than Infosys, and the chief of Infosys, Narayan Murthy, used to take a walk around his workplace. When he used to take a walk around his workplace and he used to see people sitting late in their cubicles, he used to pass a lot of sarcastic comments to these guys. These were young bachelors or these were newly married guys who were from the software industry, and they didn't have the urge or motivation to go home. They again and again used to come back to office and stay late hours doing a few errands, sitting on the PC. And these guys were actually pushed out of offices by Narayan Murthy himself. So he used to pass comments telling them that the fact that you are here beyond a particular time does not prove your efficiency. In fact, it proves your inefficiency. This is something which is here to stay. So it's always going to be the task nature of work, and it will never ever be the time nature of work. Well, friends, let me give you another example. We have heard of this in so many occasions. On so many occasions, we have heard of this. And it goes by saying that businesses now will be done at the speed of thought. If businesses will be done at the speed of thought, the talent needs to be equipped, fully geared, fully available in thought, word, and action. The talent cannot be lethargic and it cannot be in a state of inertia. It cannot be in a mood swing. The talent has to be on the ball and hitting, simply because the business expectation is to do business at the speed of thought. An expression of none other than Bill Gates. Bill Gates was the first guy who proposed this in Silicon Valley, and businesses are marching forward towards it. In the present scenario, when there is a pause in a lot of business activities, if we notice, if we are aware of what is happening around the world, at the same time, there is an acceleration across many more activities. If you look at the talent space in learning and development, there is a rush to digitalize, there is a rush to imbibe new skills on digital platforms. And in a similar manner, in the IT industry, there is a rush to work at the speed of thought. Translate this business motive and understand as the talent providers of the future as to where you would need to be and at what efficiency level you would need to perform. So these were a few things which I wanted to share with you, certainly in a more uniform and in a manner that would have been a good flow. However, pardon me for that. Let me now come back to you and express 3 myths. When I say talent will seek its own level, I am trying to take care of you in a bit of a psychological manner that whatever you possess, whatever you have, whatever are your innate strengths will be respected, jobs will be restored, people will get employment. There have been examples of denominator management done by companies. This denominator management is done from an economic perspective. From an individual perspective, your talent, your content, what you are, what defines you remains all pervasive, and all you need to do is put your best foot forward, be positive. So let's understand a couple of myths. If we understand these as myths, this will give us more confidence, this will give us that energy to look forward, to continue our careers forward. One of the myths which I want to express is that only niche strengths will prevail. Well, my strengths, this is certainly a very big myth, and for this we need to understand how organizations work, what kind of manpower organizations deploy, at various levels what is needed. So there is one myth which I just expressed, that only niche strengths will prevail. You need to have something absolutely unique, you need to be an ace of spade, and then you will retain your job. Honestly, you need niche skills, you need to be good, you need to be at a superlative level. You cannot be at an average to a B3, B4 level. You need to be at a A1, A2, A3 level. However, it is not mandatory. It is certainly not mandatory that you may possess a niche skill to retain your employment. There will be employment opportunities based on the cost concept of employment. A lot of jobs will be here very much in the Indian, I'm talking from the Indian context. A lot of jobs will be here in the Indian employment arena, and they will be there because we have a cost advantage. So that's one myth which I do firmly believe, that it's not mandatory that you need to have a niche. If you have a niche, very good. You will stand alone. People will identify you, and you may do better. However, there is always space for people with average to superlative skills, may not be a niche segment. The other myth that I again believe, and which is being propagated by all of us, is that only the digital era will prevail, and the curtains have come down on the traditional formats of impart. Curtains have come down on the traditional ways in which businesses were done. The meet and greet aspect of business has ceased to be. I will need to use a hand sanitizer 6 times before I handshake with someone. And that is another myth, my friends. Why I say so? If you look at the history of pandemics, yes, there will be a long haul before our interpersonal behavior comes back to normal. There will be a scare, there will be a lot of worry, and it is right, very much right that this worry will be there. However, once this thing is taken care of, we will be back to doing business traditionally. Those with the digital acumen will be faster, and they may be able to do businesses much more in volume than people who are yet not digitalized. And hence, and only hence, there is a rush to reach there. As we understand from my previous statements, businesses want to be done at the speed of thought. They don't want to be done at your pace. You are given targets, you are given assignments, you are given milestones to reach. And those will be enabled by the digital technology. Yes, the traditional form of businesses will surely return. When the traditional form of businesses return, certainly the employment opportunities across sector for the traditional worker will always be there. let it be a blue skilled worker or let it be a white skilled worker. The third myth which I would want to express now is a little bit similar, and people believe that now is an era of artificial intelligence and now is an era of machine learning. So I can put my cerebrum and cerebellum out and I can put it in cold storage, and anything and everything that I will be doing will be simplified by the machine. Absolute myth. Let's not be in this myth for a long time. My friends, this is something which will be there, which will persist. However, this will be matched by equal, mark my words, this will be matched by equal human acumen. So these three things, I may be called a traditionalist, but these three things which I have been sharing with you over this wonderful Saturday evening, if we notice these two things, then we are so very sure that the employment aspect of industry will more or less return to what it was earlier. Now, we cannot be in a state of inertia. We cannot be in a state saying that, all right, jobs are going to return, so I will be the way I am. What needs to be changed is my behavior. What needs to be changed is the skill, knowledge, attitude, ingredient in me. I need to elevate my knowledge, I need to elevate my skill, and I need to have an attitude which is constantly absorbing the change and standing where I am. As a job seeker, especially freshers, what we need to understand is this is some time where one can learn a few courses which may not be available in your curriculum. For instance, a coding course. The best time to learn a coding course is when you are probably 6 years to 14 years. That's where you learn a new language. So there would be some courses which have not been taught in your schools, in your B schools. Okay, these courses could be actually learned over this period of time. One of the examples that I gave you. The other example that would be developing soft skills in the digital arena. You may not have had that much exposure to develop your entire soft skills upgraded with technology. These glitches happen every time we connect and every time we do seminars. So how do we master ourselves? Somebody help me today so that I can speak with you. So trust me, that is the skill which is needed. The skill that I possess is not really needed. There could be any other speaker replaced. But the skill that is needed is a gentleman who by the name of Jaspal helped me to connect technology, do my troubleshooting, make me understand what is right and what is wrong at my end, and finally he made this communication happen. I am just a small medium for him. Just like the device is a medium, I am a human medium. And what actually happened is that skill at play. So I would really, I would say contribute, or I would say dedicate, or I would say thank you for this session to that guy who understands technology to the hilt. So this is what the job seeker has to be always conscious of. If I am a job seeker and if I am only good in the speaking domain, who's going to hear me? I better be equally good in setting up my shop. I better be equally good in technology. And this is where I will get the audience. Believe me, after a little bit of preparation, writing a few notes, fumbling in the afternoon, if I am not able to get this program across, where do I really stand? People don't know me anyways. I am just a name on Facebook and LinkedIn. They took out a valuable time to come and speak to me, but then it couldn't happen. So that's where the job seeker must understand the gap and must address this gap. This is a time where this gap will be perfectly addressed, my friends. All we need to do is accept and improve. These two words is something which was told to me sometime back in life. I was really not doing well. Each one of us has lows in their life, and I was completely out of mainstream. Somebody came up to me and said, accept and improve. The job seeker, please don't have any expectations from the employer. He is sailing in the same boat as you are. It's just the reality of life which has flashed. Okay, so let me make this a little lighter. And there are so many instances when we hear dialogues in Hindi movies, dialogues which have a baritone saying, Paisa paise ko kheenchta hai. What does that mean? What does that statement mean? That means money makes money. Dear friends, talent makes money. You and me working for the brand, working for the employer, working for that abstract, which is our organization, delivering that value, a part of that value is returned to us in the form of our paycheck or our whatever employment contract we have. This is where each individual needs to absorb and understand. So capitalists are out. I have got 25,000 square feet office in 4 cities of Mumbai. Thank you, sir. I don't need it. Give me the respect. Give me the place that I deserve. I am the talent. I am the one who brings that value to your infrastructure. And there we strike a chord. So behaviors are going to change. Certainly behaviors have already changed. We see employers expressing inability to pay salaries. The way they express this inability to the job seeker matters. The job seeker is made to understand where the employer stands in terms of an absolute absence of activity. And that is where the job seeker, who is talent incarnated, needs to rise above this occasion and ensure that when he comes back to work, he gives that confidence to himself, his colleagues, his employers in the largest of large organizations and delivers value. So these were a few things which I wanted to express, to especially people who are right now in a state of flux, who want to change a job. So absolutely no worries about it. You would have worked for n number of years with an employer. If the employer cannot meet your expectation, which is a financial expectation, absolutely no worries. Please don't have an emotional connect to that extent. Do make sure that your rational brain takes the decision. You have a financial need which is much more, which may not happen in the near future. Take those rational decisions. However, when you are in the situation of changing jobs, you also take a realistic situation. Do a lot of reading beyond what comes to you in terms of media. Try to read between the lines, and more importantly, try to be sector and industry specific. Never ever go by generalizations. The world is going to an end. Third World War is happening. All jobs have been cut. Everybody is reduced his salary by 50%. 75% of the workforce is going to sit at home. Please don't go by generalizations. Is that your sector where 75% of the workforce is going to sit at home? If it is not your sector, then that would be an opportunity for you in your sector. It may come out in some different translation which your business owner will realize over a period of time. 40 to 50% employment, salaries are going to be cut. Not really. Not at all. I am of the firm opinion that the Indian businessmen understand the pulse of their people much better than systems driven organizations. Well, I have worked a long time with MNCs and I know how they behave. They are purely systems driven. The system guides, the system directs, and the system at times dictates. When your immediate superior fires you, he calls you in the evening for a drink and says, well, it was not a personal decision, it was a system. So this is how you have the bigger organizations, the MNCs of the world behave. When it comes to a geography India, the Indian employers do not behave like that. Some time back, I will just give a quote of one Indian employer, none other than Rajiv Bajaj. I had a good fortune of interacting with him when I was in Pune. The 8.5-minute clip that he shared relating to job cuts, relating to what Bajaj Auto will be doing, and relating to his plans and how he will be taking his entire team forward is more than enough that is one example which is more than enough to take care of the entire Pune, Pimpri, Chinchwad, maybe even Nasik, maybe across every area of Maharashtra. And that one statement was that we are a family, we will take care of our family, whatever are our proceeds, whatever are going to be our profits, we are going to always share in the most justifiable manner. So these are things which again come in as a very good hope and faith to the job seeker. I hope that a little bit of interaction with me has given you the confidence of how we face the times ahead. And I sincerely apologize for any glitches which have happened because of technology again. I am facing these glitches again and again, and truly apologize for that. Thank you again to Amita from the Trivium Foundation, and look forward to you guys doing great, calling in more and more speakers. A few places where I have been a speaker, I have already introduced and shared messages with them. If they are keen, they will also be a part of this journey. And on this note, I wish to bring this to a close, and thank you all of each one of you for being patient over these glitches. And as I said, things are going to come back to normal for the job seeker. Let's be very positive about it. And we are all going to meet, cheer, party, teach, and train in person. On that note, I will sign off. Thank you very much for being a lovely audience. Thanks a lot.